What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the real reason why WWE is expanding SummerSlam to 2 nights, MJF future update, Cody's WWE win was problematic, an update on JR, is that Alexa Bliss in a new tease, Rey Mysterio high stakes, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at the real reason why WWE is expanding SummerSlam to 2 nights. At top of today's news are questions why the WWE is expanding SummerSlam from a 1 night into a 2 night event. The WWE recently announced that Minneapolis, Minnesota will host SummerSlam in 2026, but what caught many fans' attention was that it was taking place over 2 nights. There's been speculation that the WWE might expand one of its major shows into multiple nights, but nothing materialized. And now that it has, what's the real reason behind this? Obviously other than making more money. Well, the Wrestling Observer newsletter stated, the move to 2 days for WrestleMania has been a big success, and with the goal being selling cities to buy their show to bring in tourism dollars, people are more apt to travel and stay longer for essentially 3 or 4 shows, since Friday SmackDown would likely in the same market and Raw could be as well, as for 1 or 2, especially when 2 will be stadium shows which will rely on travelers. They also discuss how the recent talks of running a WrestleMania overseas could play a role in this. Another aspect is if WWE decides to take WrestleMania overseas, whether that be Saudi Arabia or London in 2026, this would give them a major as close to similar as possible weekend type of major event in North America. This announcement is a latest signing of how TKO Holdings' efforts to maximize profits with live events. The recent announcement that TKO is merging UFC and WWE live events departments suggests TKO wants to rely on corporate synergy to coordinate shows to make the most of both brands' popularity. What do you guys think of WWE expanding SummerSlam into a 2 night event? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, an update on Jim Ross's health. Yesterday we reported on the sad news that JR had been hospitalized due to having shortness of breath. And now JR gave an update on his Twitter account and posted a picture of him with his 2 daughters in the hospital bed. Jim Ross mentioned that he does smoke cigarettes and that he tweeted that he's gonna quit. Hopefully JR is going to get better very soon and we're wishing for a fast and full recovery. Next up, MJF future move update. Is AEW and Maxwell Jacob Friedman hammering out the details of Max's return to AEW? The former AEW World Champion last appeared at World's End pay-per-view where he dropped the title to Samoa Joe, then discovered his supposed BFF Adam Cole had betrayed him. Since then, there have been conflicting reports about when MJF will return to AEW. Although details are sketchy, it's believed that MJF was dealing with several injuries going into his last title defense. One rumor is that he had a shoulder injury and he would be undergoing shoulder surgery. If so, he'd be likely out for the rest of 2024 as recovery times from shoulder injuries tend to be very long. Nonetheless, a new report from Fightful Select suggests that Friedman could be back shortly and that regarding MJF's return, there are talks in how it'll look, alterations in presentation, and like that have all been broached between MJF and AEW. There are several sources within AEW that believe that he could be coming back sooner than later, with most expecting him back in the fold by Forbidden Door in New York, if not sooner. MJF is a pivotal figure in AEW, and the promotion may feel his return could help revive the company's lukewarm ratings. However, if he's still injured, AEW will have to figure out a way to have him appear without further risking his health. Next up, Cody's WWE win was problematic. It looks like former WWE writer Brian Gewirtz is still questioning the way things turned out for The Rock at WrestleMania 40. He worked with The Rock's 7 Bucks production company and he was reportedly heavily involved in writing The Rock's storyline in WWE recently, and he shared his thoughts on the WWE's decision to have Cody Rhodes win this year's Rumble. For the most part, it was overwhelmingly positive when The Rock teased head of the table, and at that point we're like, okay, that gives us our answer, we're locked in. Which begs the question, which I know you're going to ask, which everyone would ask, if all of that is the plan at this point in mid-January or whatever it is, why the love of all things holy do you have Cody Rhodes winning the Rumble? He discussed the situation during an appearance on Busted Open Radio, explaining how things should have gone down. The idea of Cody winning the Rumble I thought was problematic, in full transparency. I said even in San Diego in the meeting, I thought the cleanest thing to do if we're booking Rock and Roman is to have CM Punk win the Rumble and challenge Seth Rollins, just because there's a different storyline wise in my opinion of Cody wanting to finish the story and having earned the right to finish the story by winning the Royal Rumble. Of course, if the WWE had booked CM Punk to win, it would have become a moot point as Punk tore a tricep during the match, which would have kept him from competing at WrestleMania. He seems to feel the WWE painted itself into a corner with Cody's Rumble win. Once you win the Royal Rumble, that dynamic changes. It goes from something that, yeah, we all want things, but now he's got it. And why would you do anything other than focus on Roman? And that's what he naturally did when he pointed to him. Why wouldn't he? That's exactly what the character would do. Some fans are still trying to process what led to the WWE having Cody turn his Royal Rumble win over to The Rock, only to do a 180 the next week. While the end result was one of the most exciting storylines and 2 terrific matches in WrestleMania history, it's understandable why he and many fans are confused about how things turned out. Next up, is that Alexa Bliss? Now, is Alexa Bliss joining the Wyatt Six? Fans have been asking this ever since the WWE began airing various clues that Uncle Howdy's returning to WWE and he won't be alone. A recent video shows a shadowy figure who some fans believe is Alexa Bliss. While the video is difficult to make out, some fans have noticed the similarities between the figure's hand and photos showing Alexa Bliss's hand. Given Bliss's close involvement with Bray Wyatt prior to his 2021 release, and the teaser that she would rejoin him after his subsequent return, it's a plausible theory. Another clue in the video is a display of teeth that fans believe belong to Bo Dallas, who is reportedly playing Uncle Howdy. Many fans believe Uncle Howdy will appear at the King and Queen of the Ring, but in what capacity remains a mystery. Essentially, Sports commented on another clue that may be linked with this storyline, noting the presence of a familiar figure in Riyadh. When fans looked at the venue, they noticed what could be the next big clue, the Nightbird. Beside the venue stands a statue of a Nightbird, which has been prominent in all the Uncle Howdy related clues. Could this be a hint that fans were supposed to find? Is it all coming together? Do you guys think Uncle Howdy will return at King and Queen of the Ring? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Rey Mysterio wants to put his mask on the line. How would Rey Mysterio like to wrap up his wrestling career? Although the WWE Hall of Famer hasn't set a specific date for his retirement, he recently spoke with CBS Sports about who he'd like to wrestle and the story driving his last match. The perfect scenario is that Dom will be in the right person and not necessarily to retire me, but put what matters most to me on the line, and that's my mask. It's something I'd be willing to do. Rey talked about the mask's deep tradition in Lucha Libre and how important it would be to defend it, as well as the loss he would face if he was unmasked. Mysterio also joked about how Dominic Mysterio has adopted some of the late great Eddie Guerrero's looks and mannerisms. I truly believe that Eddie's getting a kick out of this, and to a certain degree Eddie has been in Dominic's corner from the beginning. It's very special and sentimental to see my son's growth, to see every now and then a little Eddie-ish in his character and his development and the way he carries himself. To a large degree, there's also a lot of pride when I see him, and it reminds me so much of the moments I lived with Eddie. Sometimes when I see pictures of them, it's just scary. Dominic's evolution to one of wrestling's most hated heels has been remarkable, and Rey's comments show his pride in his son's accomplishments. Do you guys think Rey should close his career out with one final match against his son, putting his mask on the line? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up is Tony Khan keeping Mark Henry. Mark Henry's AEW contract is reportedly ending soon, leaving fans wondering what's next for the world's strongest man. During the Double or Nothing press conference, AEW President Tony Khan commented, "I really like Mark. We have to look at that internally as far as a contract and dates, but I think Mark is a great person and I really personally like him. He's a great media personality as well as being a great wrestler and a great philanthropist, and I have a ton of respect for Mark. I have a lot of respect for him in and out of the ring." Khan's lengthy response doesn't give any insight into what AEW intends to do, but fans know that Henry is just one of many wrestlers AEW hired who aren't used on TV, as much as you'd expect given AEW's generous contracts. Do you think they'll keep him around? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, Beth's new look. Last but not least, Beth Phoenix is rocking a new look as she recently posted photos of a new hairstyle to Instagram. The Hall of Famer has cut off her long hair and adopted a fresh new look. What do you guys think of it? Let us know in the comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.